Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well today. I'm bringing you another F-16 tutorial. This one is going to be on our visual flight rules for, good weather, daylight landing. A couple things I'm going to talk about. First of all, this pattern that I'm going to show you is, you could vary it as much as you see fit as you get more familiar and comfortable with the F-16. This is kind of just a baseline procedure. This is what I do, and it's based on what I've seen in DCS manuals for the F-16 as well as real F-16 manual. But as I said, you can adjust it as you see fit. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to declutter the HUD, make it a little bit easier once we are on final. So we're going to unpause here, contact ATC.
In field 1, inbound.
Typically contact them farther out, but close here, so. Alright, runway 13. We have a waypoint there, that's going to be useful. Because we're going to see this tadpole there display that indicates the direction towards the waypoint. That's going to flip around once we overfly it. Now what I want to do is get down here about 350 knots and about 1500 feet AGL above ground level. Doesn't have to be exact, but that's a good baseline, and we're going to be overflying the runway, as opposed to in Navy jets where you fly off to the side. A little bit fast, that's alright. And then once we make our break here, we're going to try and pull between 2.5 and 3 Gs in a level turn, and then parallel the runway on the downwind. The opposite heading, our opposite heading is 306. See that tadpole flipped around, we're going to make our break here. 2.5 to 3 Gs, level turn. I'm not going to go to idle, but I'm going to go a bit less on the throttle, maybe 10 to 20% throttle. Aiming for 306, our heading on our downwind here. A bit slow, I didn't want to get that slow. I like to be at about 290 knots when I come out of there. Now, in just a second, we're going to put our gear down and our speed brakes down, or speed brakes out. Speed brakes do get extended for landings in the F-16, but when the gear are down and locked, you will see that it will basically just have the speed brakes be halfway extended. So gear down, speed brakes out. Fly until our wingtip is basically past the end of the runway there. See our speed brakes halfway out, and it will recenter. Now we want to aim for having our flight path marker about 5 degrees down, or between 2.5 and 5. A bit high here, so I'll try and keep it around 5. Now we're going to just visually aim for this runway, and we want to try and place these dashed lines right here, right at about the runway threshold. And judging your turn and how much you need to do, how much you need to pull, bank angle, will just come with practice. I didn't do that well. I should have made that a little bit tighter. Correct it here. Send a bit, slow down, pause it for a second. Now this flight path marker, we want this to be in this bracket here, which indicates our angle of attack. In the F-16, as with basically all fighter jets, you don't really fly airspeed so much when you're landing. You're more flying angle of attack, which will put you on your optimal landing, and that varies depending on airspeed. Or I should say that your angle of attack is constant for your landing, what it's supposed to be, but your airspeed will vary depending on your weight. So we have about 4,500 pounds of fuel here. You could land if you had maybe twice that. You would be at a higher speed, but you'd still be flying the same angle of attack. And when the flight path marker is above this, that means you need to slow down. That's also indicated by our AOA indexer here. You have this amber triangle or arrow at the bottom there. That means you need to slow down. If our flight path marker is below this, or you have the red arrow at the top of our AOA indexer, that means you need to speed up a bit. But we want to put this right in the middle of that staple there, and then we want our green donut symbol there. Unpause this here. Slow down. I'm at about idle. I am at idle. Aim for the center there. A bit more power here. And then right as we are about to touch down, we are going to go to idle and pull our nose up, pull the flight path marker right onto the horizon line. Right about here, we'll go idle, pull that up. And nice smooth touchdown, full speed brakes, hold that nose off the ground. Oops, don't do that. Don't have a tail strike like I just did. About 110 knots. Put our nose down, it will drop automatically. Start applying some brakes here just a bit. Gonna miss that taxiway, that's fine. We'll go to the next one. 70 knots, put our nose with steering on. And we'll head down to this way right here. Retract our speed brakes now. Brakes. And we'll taxi off and go park somewhere. So, hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, awesome. If you think the video deserves a like, do that. If you want to subscribe, maybe hit, donate to the super thanks, very much appreciate that. If you want to join the Discord, if you have any other questions or anything, that's a good way to contact me or my buddy Jimbo VR, or anybody else who is knowledgeable about the F-16 or anything else. Or if you maybe want to fly with us in the future, or know when our live streams are, definitely join that Discord. I'll have a link in the description. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, definitely let me know in the comments. But anyway, as I said, I hope you found this video helpful, informative, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. So thank you for watching.